Welcome to English classes of MS English.
Dear children, today we are going to read and discuss a story named
Heidi Meets Grandfather.
This story is taken from New Treasure Chest, Book 3. So let's start.
Heidi Meets Grandfather.
Little Heidi and her Aunt Dete were going up a steep path in the Swiss mountains. Heidi was 5 years old with rosy cheeks and beautiful black hair. She had lived with her aunt from the time her parents had died. Aunt Dete had now got a job in Frankfurt and was not able to take care of Heidi any longer. She was taking the child to live with her grandfather. After his son Tobias, Heidi's father, died, grandfather had left Dorfli, a village at the foot of the Alps, and moved into a hut on the mountain slopes. Dete introduced Heidi to her grandfather. The little girl ran up to him and held out her hand. "Hello, grandfather," she said. "I'm very happy to meet you." He shook her hand but turned to Dete with a frown and asked, "What is the meaning of this? Who told you to bring her here? I do not need a child in my life now. She has lived with you for many years. She will not be comfortable with me." But Dete had no other choice. She had to leave Heidi with her grandfather. Heidi was a little afraid of her grandfather, but she wanted to be friendly. "Is this where you live, grandfather?" she asked timidly. "Come with me," he said gruffly. "I'll show you around." The house was just one room with only a bed, a large cupboard, and a wooden table. Heidi ran up to the hay loft. "So wonderful up here, nice and warm, and the hay is so soft. There is even a small window from where I can see mountains." "You can have that for your bedroom if you like," said grandfather. "Can I really?" Heidi replied happily. "Oh, thank you, grandfather. First, I must make a bed." She began to make a bed with some fresh, sweet-smelling hay. She was very pleased with it. "I believe this is the best bed in the whole of Switzerland," she said. Grandfather smiled at Heidi's excitement. "Are you hungry, child? It is time we ate." Grandfather began preparing the food. He cut 2 slices of bread and 2 lumps of goat's cheese and toasted the cheese over the fire. He was pleased to see Heidi trying to help him. She took the dishes and cutlery from the cupboard and began to set the table. The two of them sat down to a supper of bread, cheese, and goat's milk. "That was truly delicious," said Heidi when she had finished. She helped grandfather clean the table and wash the dishes. It was beginning to get dark. They sat outside and watched the sunset. Heidi saw a boy coming down the mountains with his goats. His name was Peter. Peter the goatherd looked after grandfather's goat. Little swan and little bear. One was pure white and the other brown. Where has Peter been with the goats? Asked Heidi. He takes them into the mountains so that they can eat the fresh grass, replied grandfather. Can I go with him tomorrow? Asked Heidi. The mountains look beautiful. I love the fresh air. I want to spend the day with little swan and little bear. It's getting late, said grandfather. Good night, Heidi, and sleep well. Heidi fell asleep, dreaming of the mountains covered with fresh green grass and beautiful flowers. She knew she would be happy here with grandfather. I hope you enjoyed reading this story. Perhaps you read this story in your school too. Can you tell me who is Heidi?
Heidi is a 5-year-old girl with rosy cheeks and beautiful black hair.
Very good. What is the name of Heidi's father?
Tobias.
Where was Heidi going?
Heidi was going to her grandfather.
Well, very good. Who was taking her there?
Her Aunt Dete was taking her there.
Where was the village?
The village Dorfli was at the foot of the Alps.
Very good. Who was Heidi going to meet?
Heidi was going to meet her grandfather.
How many rooms did his house have?
His house had only one room.
Where did Heidi make her bed?
Heidi made her bed in the hay loft.
What did she make her bed with?
She made her bed with some fresh, sweet smelling hay.
What did Heidi and grandfather have for supper?
Heidi and grandfather had a supper of bread, cheese, and goat's milk.
Very good. What was the names of grandfather's goats?
Little Swan and Little Bear.
What color were the goats?
One was pure white and the other brown.
Very good. Where did Peter take the goats?
Peter took the goat into the mountains.
Very good. What did Heidi plan to do the next day?
Heidi wanted to go with Peter to spend the day with Little Swan and Little Bear.
Very good. What did Heidi dream of as she fell asleep?
As he fell asleep, Heidi dreamed of the mountains covered with fresh green grass and beautiful flowers.
Very good.